No. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Morning with Meg. Hopefully everybody can hear me this time. So those of you who are YouTube subscribers, could you chat me up and just let me know that you can hear? The nice thing about Emma's old room is that I get just to use the computer rather than having to stick those big things. Hey, Robin, great to see you, dear heart. Thank you for that thumbs up. So today we're going to be working with an arm balance called Kundanyasana or Kaundanyasana, named after the sage Kaundanya, who was an advisor to a great king who had a son named Siddhartha, his firstborn. And the king asked about the child's destiny, and Kaundanya said, "This child is destined for greatness, something so much bigger than your kingdom." And the king was very upset at that and protected the child from all suffering. He really just wanted the child to rule his nation. And eventually, Siddhartha got away from the kingdom where he witnessed suffering. And as he wandered in his wanderings, looking at the world, he came to Kaundanyasana once again. And Kaundanya really had advocated at that time a lifestyle of complete and total self-denial as a way to enlightenment. And Siddhartha practiced with him a while, but knew that this path also led to suffering. And so they parted ways. And in that parting, Siddhartha discovered the Four Noble Truths and became the Buddha. And one of the truths is the middle way. It's the idea of being in that beautiful, graceful state between effort and ease. And so he went back to his old sage, Kaundanya, and told him about the middle way. And Kaundanya was graceful enough to accept the truth, to see that indeed his way was not the way to enlightenment. So there's this beautiful story about kind of relinquishing control. And that's what we do when we step on the mat. When you ask me to teach, you have no idea what's coming up. You're just going to be here in this perpetual state of now, working with the breath, working with what you have rather than what you feel you should have. So let's take to the mat today and perhaps work with the idea of relinquishing control, of surrender. Just another way of coming into this idea of letting go, another nuanced kind of position. So today you'll need 2 blocks and a strap. And I invite you to start in a standing posture today. Usually we start on our seats or our backs. And if that is just not comfortable today to stand on your feet just yet, you can always find whatever you need in this practice. You certainly are the teacher. I'm just the facilitator. So definitely listen to what your body and your energy body needs this morning. But for those of us who'd like to start standing, let's go ahead and find our way into mountain pose. Now, today you might want to take a different kind of mountain, bringing the big toes together and leaving a little bit of a parting between the heels. So rock back onto your heels and lift your toes up off of the earth. And then let's very carefully place them down onto the earth. Finding that engagement of the big toe mounds. So really press into the big toe mounds, press them together. Feel the squeeze of the inner thighs and the lifting of the lower belly. And by that, I mean kind of a scooping up of the perineal wall. So although the glutes are engaged, they're still pretty soft. So there's not this sort of clutching, all right? Let's really think about relinquishing control and finding that beautiful balance between effort and ease. Let your shoulder blades relax down the back and bring your palms, just to face forward. And if that just feels like you're doing something that just doesn't feel natural in the body, let's work for natural today. So the next 5 to 8 full deep breaths, let's just feel as though the heels open up and create a hollow, and that the energy is pulled up through that hollow, all the way up the back of your legs, up your spine, up to the crown of your head, and then coming back down the front side of your body. Let's feel the energy on exhale, ringing the heart, engaging the navel to spine, all the way back down to your big toe mound. So let's just try that breath on our own in silence. Maybe you find that gentle swing, just like a tree or a blade of grass, all hollowed out by the energy in your own body, that sense of growth through the body to the sky. So perhaps setting an intention about staying in this beautiful excavated spaciousness. Maybe it's to relinquish control, to surrender into that spaciousness today. Whatever it is that brought you to the mat today, let's fold it in at heart center, either hand on top of heart, or in Anjali Mudra, prayer pose at the heart. And we'll open up our practice with one full deep inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, sigh it out. Let it go. So let's begin with the arms today. Bring your palms out, open the palms out, touch the pinkies together, and then on inhale, all the way up, look up at the hands, bring the hands down to heart center. Once again, out, inhale, up, exhale, palms at heart center. Keep going. See if you can find the grace and the fluidity in the upper part of the body, staying strong and capable on the back side of the body. Inhale it out, up, and exhaling down. Inhale out, up, and exhale down. Last time, out, up, and down. Let's bring the hands out, palms now facing one another, thumbs up, and let's begin some small circles here. Again, keeping the belly, the inner thighs, the big toe mounds engaged. Round and round with the hands, getting maybe bigger. If you have the space, bringing them out to the side of the body. Big circles now. Slow it down so you're not kind of just winging your way around. Back head pun. It looks like we're flying, right? And then in the opposite direction. Again, take your time. Feel what you feel. See what's engaging and what is kind of letting go. See what you need to engage. Back in front of you once again, and then out to the side wall. This time, palms face up, thumbs back behind you, 2 fingers to your shoulders and out. So again, standing up tall, just finding a little bit of heat. It's wonderful to find that heat on sort of a chilly morning here in Washington, D.C. And now next time the hands come to the shoulders, let's move the shoulders in the front, and then once again, T pattern with the elbows. And then let's release, find that invisible ball right at your navel. Just see if you can feel the energy between your palms. Maybe you need to get a little closer to each other. The palms need to come a little closer. Maybe you can expand and still feel that energy. All right, open up your eyes. Bind your hands behind your back. Once again, find energy here. Hollow it out. And then reach the heart up to the sky. And then a deep bend into the knees as you take a forward fold. Maybe your fist comes up off of your back. If not, no big deal. Let's just breathe into the front part of the body and let the head and neck hang heavy wherever they are. Give it another 2 full deep breaths here. Last deep breath. Release the hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, just fold. One more time like that. Lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. This time, inhale, lift and lengthen. Get really straight and strong in the torso. Next, inhale all the way up. Reach high. Hands together, heart center. Let's begin with a little bit of our step backs just to continue to find warmth in the body. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Send your right foot back behind you. Get long in the lunge. Left follows, downward facing dog. First dog of the practice. Go ahead and pedal into one knee and then the other. Deep full breath in and out. Inhale to plank pose. Get tight in your plank. Drop your hips so they're in line with your shoulders and your heels. Squeeze your inner thighs. Press into your big toe mounds. Scoop the belly. Drop your knees to the earth. Flatten out your feet to the earth if that's comfortable. Find your half plank. Shoulder blades down the back and engaged. Listen carefully. Exhale. Bend into the elbows and hover. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale back up to your half plank and settle your hips to your heels, child's pose. But keep your hands where they are if possible. Stretch and press into the palms. Feel the back body engaging. Deep full breath in and out. Inhale to your table posture. So knees now underneath the hips. Raise your right hand high to the sky. Listen carefully. We're not going to thread the needle and settle down. We're just going to hover. Inhale it back up. Exhale, hover it down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hover down. Inhale your hand back to the earth. Curl your toes under, short downward dog. So once again, pedal out. Maybe your heels come a little bit closer to the earth here in our short dog. Press into your hands. Really engage through inner thighs and pull your kneecaps up just to give yourself a little bit more stretch in the hamstring. Now take a big step forward, about a foot with the right foot, and left follows. So now we're in a standing forward fold. Once again, hands stay where they are. Press. Let your head and neck hang heavy. Right foot forward one more time. Left follows. Standing forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reach high. Hands together, heart center. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Send your left foot back behind you. Right follows, downward facing dog. Once again, find that pedaling. Stillness. Inhale, plank. Your choice here, full or half Chaturanga Dandasana. We're going to hold one more full deep breath. So exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to plank. And then drop your knees to the earth. Find your child's pose. Press into your hands. Exhale completely. Inhale to table. Exhaling here. Inhale, left hand high. Bring it through and hover. Inhale it up. Exhale, hover it down. Inhale it up. Exhale, hover down. Inhale it up. And down to the mat. Curl your toes under, short downward dog. Press into your hands, move your sit bones farther back behind you. Pull the belly into it. Ears to the inside of your inner arms. Big step forward with your left foot and right foot follows. Again, once we're here, let's kind of press back into the hands. Let head and neck hang heavy. See how much more length you can get in your back body. Feel free to keep a bend into your knees, right? We're still resisting that urge to control things. Just being where we are. Left foot forward, right follows, standing forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reach high, and take a side bend over to the right. Inhale back to center, exhaling, side bending to the left. Inhale back to center, sit down into your chair, Utkatasana, hands to your knees. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. From here, inhale, let your heart shine forward, keep your belly engaged. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, seated cow posture. Exhale, seated cat posture. One more time. And round. Take a forward fold on exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Send your right foot back behind you. Plant your right hand, left hand high to the sky. Deep full breath in. And bring the hand down. Step it back to your plank. Drop your knees to the earth. Find your table. Bring your right hand underneath your lower ribs. And we're going to take a little bit of a shoulder blade strengthener here. So drop into your torso and then up. So we're just trying to find some mobility in the back body. And bring the hand down. Let's try that on the other side. Left hand to lower ribs. Just a reminder to keep everything zipped in. On your exhale, bring your torso down. Resist the urge to bend into that elbow to get into the shape. Let's find the strength in those little muscles underneath your shoulder blades. And once more, down to the mat. Curl your toes under. Short downward dog. Step it forward with your right foot and your left foot just about a little bit. Okay, press into your hands. See if you can get a little taller in your spine. Let your head and neck hang heavy. Press into your heels. Big step forward one more time with the right foot. Left foot follows. Inhale all the way up and all the way down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Send your left foot back behind you. Drop your left hand to the earth. Right hand high to the sky. Take your twist. Deep full breath. Exhaling down. Step it back to your plank. This time, let's come all the way through. Exhaling, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Drop your knees to the mat. Table. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest and chin. Exhale, round through the spine. 2 more times. Back to neutral spine. Curl your toes under. Find that short dog. Step forward with your left foot and your right foot even shorter. Now press into the hands. Lift the sit bones even higher. Left foot forward, right foot forward. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, reach high, and hands together, heart center. So stepping forward to the top of your mat, a couple more sun salutations, just on one breath. If you have it in your practice, a jump back and jump forward, please feel free to do that. All right, inhale, hands high to the sky. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to prepare. Exhale, find your Chaturanga Dandasana any way you'd like to. Inhaling up into your baby cobra, upward facing dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot to your lunge and your left follows. Standing forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reach high. Hands together, heart center. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold it forward and find your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot to your lunge and your right follows. Standing forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, reach high. Hands together, heart center. Hands to the sides of the body. Let's check in with our mountain pose. Just seeing how we feel. Maybe once again, finding that imagery of connection with energy flowing up through the back body and down through the front body, ringing that beautiful bell of the heart, of the navel, all the way down to the big toe mounds. And sitting back into your chair, Utkatasana. So as we get comfortable here, rocking back onto the heels, deep full breath in. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your right foot back behind you, left follows, plank. Your choice, full or half Chaturanga Dandasana. Up into your baby cobra, upward facing dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. So I want you to feel free to skip on a vinyasa should you feel it. All right, so let's just remember that lesson of last week. Right action is what we're looking for. Inhale your right foot up and back behind you, and let's pull it through for high lunge. Rising up, high lunge. So modification here is to drop the knee, because we're all going to get there in a minute. But for right now, if you're in your high lunge, let's really focus in on both feet, working into the mat, one on the ball of the foot, one on all four corners. Press the feet away from one another. Exhale, dip your back knee to the earth. Inhale it up. Exhale, dip. Inhale it up. Exhale, dip all the way down to your low crescent lunge. Here we might need to adjust just a bit. That front knee needs to come forward just so we find this gentle opening here in the left hip. So hands can come to the front knee. You can always pad your knee in the back if you need. Hands high to the sky, low crescent. Bind the hands above the head. Take a side stretch over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, frame up the foot. Pop the knee up. Drop your foot parallel to the back of the mat. Rise up. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Let's be really, really loose here. Finding long line of energy from the back heel to your upper hand. Now, let's go ahead and bring the palm to face the left side wall and stretch it back behind you. Work it up your spine, keeping, again, lower body working hard, keeping this shape, dropping your right ear to right shoulder. Open up into the heart. Let the heart shine to the left side wall. Give it another full deep breath. And then with control, back up to center. Exhale, hands come to the inside of your right foot. Give yourself some space on the mat. Find your high dragon lunge. Here's where we might need those two blocks, okay? So it's sometimes nice to place your hands or your forearms onto blocks. Or you can drop your back knee, duck onto the side, the blade side of your right foot so that that right knee moves closer to right side of your mat, maybe coming down onto your elbows. Wherever we are, let's really work on lengthening through the torso rather than rounding. So breathe into this beautiful hip space. Find what you need to find. Here's where we're really going to work on surrender. Just that hollowing out, allowing the energy to flow through rather than capturing it, rather than sort of, obsessing with it. Isn't that
true of what we do sometimes? We have such a resistance to letting go. So we can bring a little bit more relaxation. And then on next inhale, frame out your back foot, send it back, downward facing dog. Totally your choice about taking this vinyasa. Again, we're going to be here for a little bit. So if you need it, take it. Or if you don't need it, let's just find our way into downward facing dog. We're going to take 5 full deep resting breaths, just experiencing the little bit of change that we created in the body. So please feel free to drop your knees to the earth anytime you need it, taking your child's pose. Inhale your left foot back behind you, downward dog split. Pull it through for your high lunge. Rising up, high lunge. Once again, feel free to modify by dropping the back knee to the earth. Let's get long in the lunge. Really engaged in the belly. And on exhale, dipping knee to the earth. Inhale back to warrior, to high lunge. Exhale, dip. Inhale it back up. Exhale, dip. Inhale it back up. Bring your hands down to the mat. Drop your foot to the earth. And we will find our warrior 2. I feel like I forgot something, but you guys who've studied with me, you know. There's always something I don't have you here to help me. All right, so inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. All right, long, long, long. And now hand faces the left side of your mat, palm faces, and then bring it around, work it up your back body, palm face out, and then dip your left ear to your left shoulder. And all the way back up. Warrior 2, bring your hands down to frame out that front foot. Again, find the shape that you had on the other side for your dragon. Either knee dropped or knee lifted, high and heated, or low. And sort of, it's almost like sloppy, isn't it? Low and sloppy. So really get long in your torso. Maybe coming to the blade of your left foot, but let's not overextend into the ankle sort of architecture, right? We don't want to overstrain those beautiful tendons and ligaments. They don't go back to their elasticity. So use your muscles here to keep your foot on and in alignment. All right, inhaling back up, roll the back toes under, step yourself back to your downward facing dog. Again, your choice about a vinyasa or not a vinyasa. This time, all of us, let's drop to our knees at the end of the sequence and take your child's pose. So, child's pose, beautiful pose of surrender, of protestation to things that we have no control over. But it's also this pose of new beginnings. It's like a seedling pose. So even though you're all contracted, allow yourself to find that hollow, that place where energy can grow up and through you. Breathing deeply, not only into the back body, but into the side ribs growing longer. Let's give it another 2 full deep breaths. And then we'll return to our downward facing dog. So deep, full breath in. Exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Raise your right foot up and back behind you. Feel free to stay right here or bending into the knee, stacking hip on top of hip. Press into your hands just like we were doing at the beginning of class. Lift that right knee farther. Shoulders are square. Back to your downward dog split on your inhale. Feel the unfolding. Exhale, knee up into belly, shoulders up over wrist. Deep, full breath in and out. And then place your foot up as far as it will go. Find your high lunge once more. Bind your hands behind your back. And find a 45-degree angle here. Lift your fist up off of the hips if possible and keep your belly engaged. Find the strength here. Inhale back to your high lunge. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Open out, warrior 2. Spiral your hands down to the mat for your dragon lunge once again. Once you're a dragon, again, staying here, or maybe today playing with Kundanyasana. I'm going to take it like this so you can kind of see where I am. Okay, so left knee is bent. All right, hands right next to that foot. Let's bring, right knee is bent. Bring your right hand underneath that knee. And the hand is to the side of your foot. Now you can stay here or you can just play a little bit with balance. So we're looking for that sort of graceful place between effort and ease. All right, we're going to have to make chaturanga arms too. So you might want to, as you come forward, chaturanga that arm, creating a space, a shelf for your leg. From here, we can stretch out into the front foot and kiss the ground and lift the back foot up off of the earth for Kundanyasana. Again, it looks much more complicated than it is. The middle way looks more complicated, sounds more complicated than it really is. We just need to find that beautiful place between effort and ease. As soon as you finish playing with this pose, let's come all the way back into our lunge, stepping forward, Uttanasana, all the way up, reach high, and hands together, heart center. Go ahead and grab for your strap. Bring your strap around your left foot, your right foot, excuse me, right foot. And we will find our Ekapada Padukastasana today. So you can do it like this. You can just raise your foot up, all right? For those of us with really stretchy hamstrings, I've got a good friend named Kat who can just kind of kick her foot up and catch it in her hand. It's kind of an amazing thing to watch. Not me. You can also bend into your knee, find a lot of slack in the strap, and then using your core, pulling yourself up to your stork. Find that knee hitting upper arm hitting knee, and then find Ekapada. Bring the whole torso over your standing leg. From here, maybe finding that extension once again, and the counterbalance with the opposite hand. Bring it back to midline, switch out the strap, and take a twist. Press into that flat neck yoga toes. And then let's come back to the center and come out just as carefully as you did. Strap off to one side. Inhale, hands high to the sky. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Send your left foot back behind you. Right follows, downward facing dog. Your choice, vinyasa here, or maybe just finding a certain shape that you feel will help you in the next leg of our journey. We'll all meet up in downward facing dog. Raising the left leg up and back behind you, either staying here or bending into that knee, stack hip on top of hip, shoulders stay square. Let's see if that knee can get even farther up. And then once more back. Downward dog split. Square off the hips, press into the hands. Exhaling, knee up into belly, shoulders up over wrists. Hold. Exhaling. Inhale, the foot up in between the hands, rising up, high lunge. Binding the hands behind the back. Open up into the heart, keep the belly strong. Lean it forward, 45-degree angle. Find that hollow, that spaciousness. Back up to center. Hands together, heart center. Open out, warrior two. And then spiral your hands down to the mat and find your dragon. Once again, either staying in your dragon or just playing with Kaundanyasana. Left hand underneath, left knee, so to the side of your left foot. And then maybe just playing with making those chaturanga arms. Find a shelf for your thigh. Maybe, just maybe, working the foot out to the side, kiss the floor, lift the back leg, make yoga toes. Everything down. If you can hop your way back into your chaturanga dandasana, please feel free to do. We'll all come back after you've played to a standing forward fold. So do feel free to take any kind of movement that you'd like to along the way, or just walking your way, top of the mat, standing forward fold. Once again, we'll take Ekapada, this time with the left foot. Again, find that strap, bring it around the ball of your left foot, stand up tall. I like to keep my hands on my hips, just so I'm not kind of doing anything funky with my pelvis. We really need the bowl of the pelvis in correct alignment. Find some slack. Dip into your right knee. First, finding your stork. Integrate your shoulder back into your torso. All right, shoulder blades flat down the back, rising through the crown of your head. And then Ekapada. Foot comes out in front of you. Once again, bring the shoulder back. Integrate the arm bone into your torso. With control, out to the side. Opposite arm, maybe a counterbalance. Now back to center. Switch out the hands. Take it into a twist. And then back to center, coming out just as carefully as you came in. Remove the strap, off to the side. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Feel those new hamstrings. Exhale, forward folding. Send your right foot back behind you. Your left follows, downward facing dog. Again, your choice about a vinyasa. This time, all of us will wind up in our child's pose once again. Give it 5 full deep breaths. Alrighty. So here is where we're going to need a block and your strap, or a blanket, a towel, a pillow. Come into your table pose once again. Any kind of movement here you need in table just to kind of release from that child's. But we'll find our right knee into your belly and then placing the right knee on top of left knee. You're going to want to make yourself a big, wide space between your ankles. Now, this Gomukhasana, cow face pose, is not for everybody. So this can always be done against the wall, or you can just find your figure 4 on your back. So both ways, anyway, is beautiful. As you sit back, bring your strap and your block width. I like to sit on a block just so I can get both of my sit bones situated. Keep a flex into the foot, knee on top of knee. So there's an energy here. This is not a passive hip opener. We're really looking for sensation in the outer hip. And then that sense of drawing navel to your spine. From here, go ahead and find the strap in your left hand. Dangle the strap back behind you. And see how I did that? I bowed into my front body. I want to keep my front body pretty clear in mountain pose. The elbow reaching higher. I might want to give it a little assist. Just that idea of like reach. All right? Now, right hand out in front of you, thumb up, thumb down. Go ahead and reach back for your strap. Now, if you want a little bit more shoulder stuff, you can kind of do just waking up and getting out of the shoulder thing up and down. Maybe it's just a working your way into a closer clasp on the strap. If you do have the bind hand to hand, let's just be really careful not to do this. Give yourself a moment just to find the pressure of the thoracic spine against your back hand against the spine. So there's a tautness there. And if you can take more sensation in your hip forward folding, see if you can keep the bind here. Keep a little bit of a chin lock on. So that's that idea of kind of sliding the head back on the cervical spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the front of your mat if you're forward folded. Little tuck of the chin. Now I want you just to notice how it feels to unbind. So take your bind off and take it into some shape that just for you kind of represents surrender, represents the sort of relinquishing of control. There is a freedom here when we stop trying to control things. Maybe hands come back or come out in front of you and press into the hands. Send your sit bones back into the block, your blanket, your mat. Then listening for opening in the outer hip. All right, let's lean completely forward. Bringing both knees onto the mat, unwind your knees. Maybe wagging the tail of the dog just a bit. And then let's take those shapes on the other side. So block and strap are handy. This time, left knee up. Send it over. Wide space. Settle in on your block. Keep your feet flexed. Bring your strap in your right hand this time. Pat yourself on the back. Give your elbow a little assist. Up, up, up. Left hand out, thumb up, thumb down, and around. Look for the bind. Work your way up. Maybe that little, I just got out of the shower, drawing my back thing. And then straight and strong in the spine. Maybe taking this into a forward fold. All right, release the bind. Let's just see how good this feels. Completely forward folding or finding just some place where you can relinquish control. Maybe hands out a little bit farther. Press those sit bones back. Feel the opening in your hip. And then we'll come all the way up onto the knees and go ahead and unwrap yourself. Find your table posture. And from here, we'll find Anahatasana. So engage here, hips right over your knees. And then lower, 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 lower your heart to the earth. Now, this can happen with your head onto the mat. You might find that your heart is sort of tilting towards the mat, and maybe with it just a little bit more spaciousness, you could find your heart onto the mat. Wherever you are, let's go ahead and kind of keep a little bit of a tone in the belly, just so we're not kind of losing all the strength that we've built here. Can't open heart without a strong foundation in who you are, in your desire for bigger things, higher truths. You gotta have the will to open up that heart, to be compassionate, to practice loving kindness, not only for other, but for self. Looking for that beautiful place between effort and ease. All right, let's bring the elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Find your hands in front of you. Bring your thumbs up, and let's really engage the pinkies into the earth as well. Now bring the crown of your head down to the earth. Thumbs are near the back of the head, close to the occipital lobes. Let's pretend that we could slide a piece of paper underneath your head. And the way you do that without being really heavy on your head is press into your elbows and send your shoulder blades around the back. Create some more space between your shoulder blades. Now you can stay right here. All right, it's a beautiful counter for what we were doing. Or if you'd like to take headstand prep, go ahead and curl your toes under. Keep pressing, pressing, pressing into your elbows. And see how far up you can get your hips over your shoulders without, here's the most important part, without laying your entire weight on the crown of your head. Not good for cervical spine issues. So if you find any pressure coming onto your head, any pressure on your neck, come out of it immediately. This is certainly not a pose. Headstand is not a pose for people who have cervical spine injuries or even issues. I usually tell people, if you have a lot of pain in your shoulders, upper trapezius, let's just take this in stages. You can always practice against the wall. So finding your child's pose, feet up against the baseboard, find that beautiful place, and then walk your feet up the wall. You can also decide to take an inversion on the other side. So maybe right action today is to let's land the plane, right? We're coming into Shavasana, so it might be coming into your back body. And even if you've done headstand, you can do this as well. Find your bridge pose, slide a block underneath your sacral spine, making sure you're pretty solid here. Shoulder blades are flat up against the mat. Feet reach high to the sky. And let's just give ourselves a little bit of an ankle turn. Eventually, we'll come on down to our Shavasana. So take any kind of final poses that you need to take. And then completely release yourself to the earth. So treating this pose as importantly as we treat all the other poses. So if you have to leave early, make a promise to yourself to practice surrender in your day. When you turn off everything, you find yourself flat on the bed, on the floor. And you allow yourself at least 5 minutes of full and complete surrender to sound, to breath, eventually to stillness and nothingness. Escape. It's what all of us need. And we think of it as something outside of us, but actually, we can find it right here in the surrender to the present moment. So breathe deeply. All right, dear hearts, I hope that you enjoyed this practice and that we will see each other next week, 8 o'clock on Wednesdays is when I'm here for Morning with Meg. If you liked this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Tell friends about it. It is something I do for the community, something I do for myself too. It's a practice of loving kindness. So let other people know that it's here. And if you need me, definitely feel free to reach out to me through my website, www.lostandfound.com. I'm there. I'll respond. See you soon. Bye, all.